Welcome back, friend. This is Mindset Medicine with Dr. Tanya B., your space for deep truth, emotional healing, and nervous system sanity in a world that is profiting from your overwhelm. Today, we are going to start into a topic that hits home for so many of us, and that is teenager anxiety. Not just what's happening, but why it's happening, and what we can actually do about it. From a place of nervous system regulation, not panic parenting or cultural blame. Whether you are a mom, a mentor, an educator, or just someone that is trying to soothe the anxious teenager that is still inside of you, then this episode is for you. So let's get into the truth behind what's really going on with our teenagers and why anxiety is not a mystery, but is actually a design flaw of the world that they are growing up in. Hey there, my sister, my friend. Welcome to the Dr. Tanya B podcast with me, Dr. Tanya B. I am here to help you be your best, most authentic self, your life, your way. We're going to talk everything self-care, self-love, mindset, and personal growth with a splash of hippie woo. I am proud of you for giving yourself this time today, so let's not waste time and let's dig in. Teenager anxiety is not a fluke. It's not a genetic roulette. It's not just kids these days. It is the result of a perfect cultural storm, intentional or not. It is a system, a structure, a lifestyle that is quite literally anxious by design. So let's break it down. Technology took over their childhood. We handed teenagers a smartphone and told them to be social on screens instead of sidewalks. We might have even gone as far as to isolate them from personal interactions in order to protect them based on our own childhood experiences and what we believed our parents should have done differently. Does that sound familiar? So now our teenagers are living online more than they are living in their bodies. That means they are disconnected from sensory grounding. They are overstimulated by comparison and criticism. And they are conditioned to perform instead of connect. And these platforms that they're using, they are designed to hijack attention and increase addiction. Jonathan Haidt, in the book The Anxious Generation, argues that the phone-based childhood has fundamentally rewired how our teenagers develop emotionally, socially, and neurologically. And spoiler alert, it's not just the teenagers. You already know because you're in the scroll spiral too. That doom scrolling at midnight, comparing without realizing, losing hours, like loose change in the algorithm's couch cushions. I use TikTok for personal entertainment. I'm guilty of that and I am okay with it. But I do not open that app unless I am absolutely positive that I have a few hours to lose myself down this rabbit hole because it is so hard to step away. So Haidt talks about how the phone-based childhood and how it's shutting or stunting the emotional development of our teenagers. I started to touch on this already, but we now prioritize safe spaces. So that often means emotional avoidance instead of emotional resilience. Yet we've removed real in-person contact, which is critical for nervous system development and identity formation. This isolation masquerades as independence, but we're mammals, we're people. We regulate in connection. So all of the teenagers, but especially girls, are developing in this culture that teaches them that that they need to monitor their appearance constantly. They're not just insecure at this point. They're at war with their bodies, their reflection, whether or not they are enough before they even know how to live inside of themselves. And then performance seems to be our new love language, which is kind of gross when you think about it. You get praised when you overachieve. You get validated when you stay quiet and you do everything right. I'm saying right in quotes. This creates teenagers who are hypervigilant, perfectionistic, and emotionally exhausted by the time they even reach 17. These things don't cause anxiety. They are anxiety. This system is what happens when we trade safety, connection, and emotional literacy for speed, perfection, and screens. Teen years are a neurodevelopmental construction zone. This is when identity, self-worth, emotional regulation, all of those things are being built. And they're doing it now with fewer tools and more pressure than ever before. So let's talk about the brain and the body for a second. The prefrontal cortex, which is your reason logic, is not fully developed until you are 25. The amygdala, which is your fear and your reaction, is incredibly active in teenagers. The nervous system, learning what is safe and what is not, is based on repeated input. So if the repeated input is constant comparison, inconsistent or unavailable emotional support, academic pressure plus social performance, overwhelm with no outlet, then guess what the nervous system learns? It starts to tell itself, because it has learned, I am not safe unless I am perfect. I am only lovable when I perform. I must control to survive. Does any of that sound familiar? It probably should. Most of us were given the same script, just without the dopamine feedback loop of TikTok and the curated chaos of Instagram. This is generational and cultural. And if you're feeling helpless or ragey or triggered by your teenager, it's likely touching your own unhealed adolescent pain. This is the moment where you get to shift from what is wrong with them to what is happening to all of us. So let's talk about what we can actually do about it. Not just fix it, not control it, but respond with presence, with power, and even with practice. So the first one, co-regulation. Always co-regulation first. You cannot soothe a storm if you are the storm. If your teenager's anxiety sends you into a spin or pulls out a version of you that you don't even like, start there with you. Put your hand on your heart, ground your feet, stand tall, breathe in for the count of 4, and then out for 6, and say to yourself, I am calm. I am here. This is not an emergency. Because the truth is, the more regulated you are, the safer they feel, even if they don't show it. And here's a little reality check for you. They are rarely going to show it. And then the second is be curious, not controlling. Instead of saying, why are you so anxious? Try, what does this anxiety feel like in your body right now? Maybe don't even name anxiety. Maybe just ask, what are you feeling in your body right now? If they're open, then you can ask. If your anxiety had a voice, what would it say it's afraid of? You are not their therapist, but you are a safe container for their experience if you don't make it about fixing. The third, build micro moments of safety. So not everything has to be about deep conversation. There are some basics that create comfort and support. Anxiety is soothed by predictable routines, by touch with consent, of course, restorative rituals like maybe having a tea or lighting a candle or turning on some music, space to decompress without pressure. One of my sons, when he was younger and he was stressed, he wouldn't want to talk about it. He wouldn't want me to do anything. He didn't want to hug. He didn't want me to say encouraging words or to try to guide him to fix whatever the issue was. He just wanted to sit next to me. Always his arm would be resting against my arm, that touch. No more, no less. These are the moments that regulate the vagus nerve and bring the body into that parasympathetic safety. And then number 4, rethink tech boundaries, but with a little empathy, because sister, this one is hard. This one is a challenge. You cannot just take it away, but you do need to set some healthy boundaries, and you need to replace the tech with something else. You have to at least attempt to help them understand what they are gaining by being offline, and then offer alternatives that are embodied. So walking, dancing, creating, moving, music. They will resist. They may even rage. That does not mean that you are doing it wrong. It means you are holding a boundary where they've only known escape. That is okay. Your job, remember, you remember this, your job is not to be their bestie. Your job is to guide them into being the best human possible. And yes, you better be modeling the behavior. Your phone habits matter too. If that makes you feel itchy, you better be paying attention. And then number 5, honor the inner teen that is within you. Your ability to hold space for their anxiety increases when you start healing your own. So ask yourself, what did I need at 14 that I never got? And then start giving that to yourself. If your teenager is anxious, it is not a failure. It is a flag, a sign that something is off, not in them, but in the system they are growing up in. And if you feel exhausted by the pressure to get it all right, if you are worried about them making their way in a world in a healthy and happy way, you need to remember, you do not have to heal your child's wounds. You just have to stop repeating your own. This work is hard. It is not hopeless. It is hard. You're doing it right now by listening, by learning, and just by showing up. And I want to walk with you. So here are a couple of ways that I can help you. Grab the Anxiety Reset Toolkit. It is packed with actual usable strategies that you can implement immediately. The link for that is in the notes, and it is on my website. The Resilience Lab is open. Come join us if you are ready to shift from surviving to self-regulating. If you are not sure about where to start, then let's book a discovery call. It is free, and you and I will figure it out together. And here's something tender that I want to leave you with. That is, as we wrap up this episode, so much of how we respond to our teenagers, especially their anxiety, has roots in how we were mothered. The modeling, the silence, the pressure, the lack of emotional language, it's not just impacting them. It is echoing through us. That doesn't mean we blame our mothers. It does mean that we acknowledge the invisible handprints of generational pain. And we begin the work of healing the mother line so we don't pass down what we never asked for. So next month, in the month of July, we are diving into that healing. And trust me, it is going to be powerful because you are not just raising the next generation. You are becoming the kind of adult that you needed. And that, my friend, is world changing. So until next time, breathe deep, stay soft, and never forget, you are not broken. You are breaking free. I love you.